Genius Brain listeners, this podcast is brought to you by BetterHelp. BetterHelp has been a long-time sponsor of this podcast because I use it and you should too. Now listen, I benefited from therapy for a very long time because I realized that my mental health is very, very important, and everybody has a bunch of different ways to give you advice, but is it actually helping you? There's just so much and it becomes very overwhelming. But with BetterHelp, you can use trusted resources such as talking to a live therapist that can get you a personalized recommendation to help you break through the noise. With over 30,000 therapists, BetterHelp is the world's largest online therapy platform, having served over 5 million people globally. As the largest online therapy provider in the world, BetterHelp can provide access to mental health professionals with a diverse variety of expertise. Talk it out with BetterHelp. Our listeners get 10% off their first month at betterhelp.com/genius. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/genius.
You don't get to tell me how I get to retaliate, right? Listen to me, you fucking dumb fuck. That applies if there's a mutual understanding that there was disrespect involved. There was no disrespect. He was at a show.
Yeah.
In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the Genius Brain Podcast. We are back in studio here at the original spot. Why the fuck not? We have Robin Couch behind the mic. My favorite Robin Couch, my favorite producer on earth. Fantastic woman. You've seen her. Big ol' ass, big ol' heart.
Thank you so much.
I love you, Robin.
Our objectivity is admiration.
Yeah. You can't say that to her. I've known her now for fucking years. She is my friend. So watch your fucking filthy mouths. Unless she wants you to. Unless you're a hot guy and you have a very, very large penis. That's okay. So we have a very interesting topic to talk about. And look, I think most people would expect me to talk about this on the MMA podcast, but I don't want to talk.
This is transcended beyond MMA.
It's beyond it, right?
Yeah.
So let me give you guys a little bit of a background, and I'm pretty sure you guys have seen it just because streaming is so popular now, which I have a lot of commentary on that. I don't stream, but I know
They call it IRL streaming.
Yes.
Right.
It's the IRL streaming.
In real life streaming. But isn't that just streaming?
I don't know. Like, that's literally what streaming is. It's happening as you're doing it.
Right.
So I don't really understand the distinction. But either way, they travel around now, obviously, because the phone and Wi-Fi and stuff, you could stream basically fucking anywhere. It doesn't matter. And quality doesn't really matter is what we're finding out, right? People just want to see crazy, stupid, ridiculous content.
And it's like you might have the ability to, convince your guy that you're watching to do some shit you told him to do if you send him $2. $5 and I want you to shove this lady down the stairs.
Yeah, dude, look, before we get into this topic, I'll tell you this. Years ago, I told you guys about that girl that tried to blackmail me. She was the porn star, stupid fucking bitch. I hope you're dead.
Oh, damn.
I fucking hate her, dude. It's so funny too. She met somebody that I know mutually, where she basically told him, is like, oh, do you know David So? I was like, yeah. When I met him, he was so mean to me. I was like, I was like, bitch, I will find you and I will find a big bitch to stomp your face in, dude.
But what does she mean it as, though? Because a lot of people say, yeah, David was mean to me, but you were like roasting them. But she was just trying to
She was trying to blackmail
you.
It was during the whole Me Too movement thing that was happening.
Yeah.
And so she was on one, her and her stupid, dumb, bitch ass fucking friend. And so the funny thing is she's so fucking stupid, she didn't realize, hey, we're in a commercial building. There's cameras fucking everywhere.
Yeah.
You dumb fucking bitch. You know what I mean? Also, too, this podcast is being recorded.
Yeah.
Are you dumb? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So she kept on trying to entrap me with certain things. So for example, she was crying and I didn't ask her anything inappropriate, right? It's recorded. I still have the footage in a hard drive just in case, right? I'm very paranoid. And so we, we're speaking or we're talking or whatever, whatnot. And she basically hit up Bart Joe saying did you know your friend is super inappropriate? He was asking me inappropriate questions. You know what my inappropriate question was?
What?
It's like, well, you as somebody who is Asian American, obviously I don't see a lot of American, Asian American porn stars. How does that work with your family dynamic and culture?
Hey, that's none of your business.
Dog, inappropriate? That's the inappropriate.
You brought her on because she does porn, right?
You know what's appropriate? You sucking dick for a living. What the fuck are you talking about? You know what I'm saying? This fucking madness.
Wow.
As if the world doesn't know. You know what I mean? I asked a very out of my curiosity about
Right.
what that meant to you culturally. Like, it's such a distinction from the doctor lawyer type of shit. You know what I mean?
Did she say some shit like that she regretted and she could have just asked you like, hey, can you cut that part out? Instead, she sabotaged you.
We didn't even finish the thing because I cut the interview short.
Oh, because she was
Because she started crying. Because she was talking about crazy shit. She was saying like, oh, by the way, my boyfriend broke into my house and tried to kill me. I was like, okay, this is getting weird. And so I stopped I stopped it. I was like, hey, I was like, why don't we just like reset? I was like, we don't even have to finish this podcast right now. We could do it at another time. And then after she's like, I'm okay. Then she asked me too. She goes, oh, let's go get something to eat after. I'm like, no, I already ate. We're good. And me being smart guy, I was like, hey, what I'm going to do is I'm going to call you an Uber. You know why? Because there's a timestamp.
Ooh, yeah.
Of when this podcast ends and then when you left. So I called an Uber immediately. So she can't, if there's a time gap, that means they could say whatever the fuck they want. My fucking spidey senses went off.
Yeah.
So after, we sent her on her way, she messaged me or whatever. Or like Bart and Joe messaged me, all this other stuff. And her friend was like, let's run the podcast back, all this other stuff. I'm like, no fucking way.
Yeah.
So she was trying to blackmail me. And after that, I never really invited people that I don't really know.
Yeah.
It traumatized
Yeah,
me.
there was, when you started the podcast, it was always like, let's try to get some interesting people I want to know about, and da-da-da. But it was always a crapshoot. You never knew what you were going to get.
And I kept throwing away these podcasts.
Yeah.
It's like, this is exhausting, right? So
And then I came along.
So just to let you know, if you guys are wondering why I don't get like crazy weird people on, I don't trust people anymore.
Yeah.
Right? And I don't trust myself. Like if she was a guy, I'd probably knock his fucking ass out. Speaking of.
Yes, back on topic.
Anyways, the reason why I talked about that story was because she was also, she went into streaming. And then people will send her like this. My friend sent me a video of her. And he's like, dude, this bitch is fucking crazy.
Right.
He sent me this video where this guy was like, hey, smash a carton of eggs on your face and I'll give you $5. And she smashed eggs on her face for $5 fucking dollars.
Eggs cost more than $5 now.
It's like, yeah, fucking psychopath. So I don't know what I was getting into. Anyways.
Yeah.
So if you know about a legend of an MMA fighter, he was one of my personal favorites. Rampage Jackson, Quentin Rampage Jackson.
Yeah,
right.
Pride and UFC legend.
Yes. He has a son. He has multiple children, right? Half Japanese, half black kids, and he has another kid by a few other
Previous
kids.
marriage.
Previous marriage or whatever.
Relationships.
Right? His son is also somebody who is an MMA fighter, wants to be a pro MMA fighter, wanted to get into the UFC.
His oldest son.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they, you've heard stories about his son from multiple podcasts. He's actually even had his son on a podcast, I think with Brendan Schaub. And he's, you kind of hear his relationship with his kid and you see how they interact. And, he's kind of shadowed by his father.
Watching those clips and stuff, their dynamic together bothers me.
Yes.
Bothers me really bad.
Especially from your relationship with your dad.
Yes. I don't know why, like when I see that, it's like, dude, that's your son.
Yeah.
Like, oh, you can't get one on top of me. Yeah, that reminds me of my dad. It's like,
you can't be better than me.
Yeah, you can't. I can't be better than you at whatever. I'm growing up. I'm 15. I need like encouragement or whatever. He's like, you're not anything.
Yeah.
You think you're good at this? You think you're a professional? Like that's how my dad would question me. So I'm like, when I see Rampage and his son, I'm like, poor kid, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And for somebody who wants to go into the path that his father goes into, right? That's a huge shoe to fill, right? Which he doesn't have to, right? You are your own person. You are your own individual. You have your own path. Now, as somebody who is older, right, probably than a lot of people who are watching this podcast, we have been around a lot of people. We have observed a lot of people. We have seen and spoken to a lot of people. So I have somewhat of an eye to figure out certain behavioral things that I see in other people, whether you guys believe it to be true or not. Now, this is what I see out of Raj. Raj is somebody who actually is, and I want to be very careful with my words, right? I think that he is somebody who is a little stunted. I don't think he is the sharpest tool in the shed, right? But I think he is also somebody who is just very introverted and nice if it was curated in a proper way. He wants to be famous though. Right?
Yeah.
And the problem with somebody who wants to be famous, who doesn't really actually have a talent, right?
Nor has figured out who they are.
Exactly.
themselves.
It is a disaster, right?
Yeah.
And by the way, I don't mean he's not talented in other things, but I'm talking about camera personality or all this other stuff that comes along with being an entertainer.
Yeah.
He never had to work for it. He is Rampage's son, and he got kind of a name where he can make money off of Kick here and there and do a few other things because he's Rampage's son, and he plays a role in Rampage's videos of Rampage shitting on him.
Yeah.
Right? And that's their dynamic. You've seen it through all the fucking clips, and I've seen it through other platforms as well. Rampage is just shitting on his son takes it, and then every now and then they have a little bit of back and forth.
They like step up to each other, toe to toe.
Yeah.
And I hate that.
Yeah.
When I see that, it bugs me. I mean, in my case, like I never went toe to toe like with my dad.
Yeah.
You know, just because I think it's possibly a Korean dynamic. Like I can't fathom it. But then to have such a relationship where it's like, yo, I might throw it down with my dad right now. And they have.
Yeah.
And they do.
And he hospitalized this kid.
Yeah. And it's like, and they're telling these stories like, our household, this is what it's like. And I'm like, well, that's
not
good.
okay.
That's not okay.
Yeah. And then the crazy thing about that too is that when Rampage was talking about this story, like I think I was on the Brendan Schaub's podcast.
Mm-hmm. I saw that clip.
If you watched the whole podcast in its entirety, Raj didn't want to talk about it.
Yeah.
He was very explicit. He goes, I don't want to talk about it. And his dad, he goes, well, it happened, right? And he still says the whole thing.
And he's like dangling that little embarrassing thing that made him snap then.
Yeah.
And it's like, that's torture, dude.
Yeah. And you could look at his son's face.
Yeah.
He looked embarrassed. He looked ashamed of himself,
Mm-hmm.
right? And this is not me assuming things, right? You could see it's there. It's there, clear in broad daylight. You can see that. Now, I'm just giving you this as context, right? Whatever you guys see from these clips, or if you watch those whole podcasts or whatever, you can infer from what you want from it. I'm just giving you my take on it from the experience that I have as an adult. And being around other kids, and especially being in this space, right? So now Rampage is streaming. Obviously, it makes good money. It's good publicity or whatever. Rampage is a character. He's very, very hilarious.
Oh, yeah.
Right? Now, I don't know about him as a person. I never really met him. Right? But in terms of entertainment-wise, he fucking cracks me the fuck. He's quick. He's super witty. He got jokes for days. He makes me laugh, right?
Yeah.
Now, when you do that and the other person that you're doing it with isn't as quick and as fast as you, that person just gets beat up verbally all the time.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Right? And that's kind of the role that his son plays in that streaming thing. I don't know if his son likes it. In my personal opinion, it doesn't look like he likes it.
No.
Right? It looks like he's just getting beat up and he doesn't want to say anything back because it makes him look like a bitch.
Yeah.
Right? And I feel that if he says to his dad, hey dad, that actually hurts my feelings, Rampage is going to make fun of him because of how Rampage grew up.
Yeah. And this whole situation is, you know, just a culmination of exactly what everyone says toxic masculinity is.
Yeah.
This is it.
Yeah. Yeah. This is exactly what it is. And listen, this is not judgment on who Rampage is. I don't know his relationship between him and his son, right? I can only infer, right, from what we've seen. Hours and hours of footage. We don't know what they're putting on for show. We don't know what's real. But after this incident, now we can say that
you can connect the dots.
You can kind of connect the dots now, right?
Yeah.
So the hard part about this, when we look at this situation, right? So Raj, now we can get into the story. I was just giving you guys a lot of context. Raj has a friend who is a pro wrestler, and they decided to do a kick streaming, an IRL kick streaming at this pro wrestling event.
Yeah.
It's actually owned by, I think, Rikishi.
Yeah.
Right? So there is another pro wrestler. I forgot what his name was.
Psycho Stu,
right? Psycho Stu, as the streaming is happening, he goes, hey, are the cameras on? So what he's actually trying to confirm right now is like, is this a part of the bit? Is this a pro wrestler?
Yeah.
Right? So when he sees camera, he goes, I'm doing my job.
Yeah, it's the show. Like that's, once he got in backstage with his camera crew, bro's gonna be in character.
Yes, he's in character. This is a part of the theatrics.
This is Rikishi's promotion.
Yes.
Right? Yeah. And this is one of those, you know how WWE, the way it works is like their minor leagues is NXT in Florida, right? But then they also have a program like all over the US with smaller promotions to kind of find talent, dig him up, and then make up their ranks.
It's like their Ultimate Fighter.
Yeah. And so if you guys remember Rikishi,
Yes.
Big ass thong wearing,
or just big ass
Samoan
in general.
dude. Yeah, a lot of not cartilage. What is that? Cottage cheese.
Yeah, the cellulite.
Cellulite.
Kurt Angle hated it, by the way.
Yeah.
Kurt Angle has openly hated that move.
Oh god. There is. Yeah. So he has a promotion here in LA.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so that's what happened. Like, I don't know how he came about it. They invited him or someone told him
His
to go.
friend is a pro wrestler.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, so when you see in the streaming, right, Psycho Stu is now in character. And you see him walk up to him and he's doing his character bit. Now, this is where I believe why I don't think Raj is actually the sharpest tool in the shed, because clearly he's fucking in character, right? Anybody could have seen that from a mile away. Even if you didn't know that he was doing a character bit,
Yeah.
as a normal, intelligent human being, I would have said, hey, bro, I'm not a wrestler.
Right.
And so this is the conversation that I believe the zero IQ people are having on the internet. They go, he assaulted him. You know, the beer can is a prop beer can, right? He crushes it before, and it's just the theatrics of it all. So it didn't hurt him.
Yeah.
Right. And they're saying, well, he was concussed before. What the fuck are you talking about? What does that have to do with a fake hit?
Yeah, that was like a week before.
Yes.
Right. Raja he had his phone.
He was sparring
and streaming, and somebody kicked him in the face.
Yeah, he did a spinning fucking roundhouse kick to his head.
And then dude got rocked.
Yeah.
Right. And then they're saying that lasting effect is the reason why he snapped, right?
Yeah, and that's not true at all.
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
absolute bullshit.
Yeah.
When he said, so Raj went on streaming and he's talked about, he goes, I was concussed, I was throwing up. I don't believe it. Only because I have personally been in the training room. I have also been concussed by a head kick. You know what I mean? That's not true. Where he got hit on his face was like more towards like the chin area, which kind of rocked him a little bit. But look, you know what? I wasn't the one that exchanged the blow, so I don't want to speak on that. That's just my opinion.
Yeah.
It sounded like he was reading off of a script from what his dad told him.
Right.
If he was concussed, then I apologize, but I don't think that was the reasoning at all. He does the fake beer can crushing thing, and what actually happened on stream is that they actually squashed it.
Yeah, because as like literally 5 seconds after, poof, and then the dude, Raja stands there in his face, right? And then the guy goes, aren't you going to sell it?
Yeah.
Clearly he was like, the dude didn't know.
Yeah.
Psychos, they were both mistaken, both
Yeah.
of them, right? And at this point, I still understand why Raj might be upset.
Yeah.
You know, 100% get it. You don't know what wrestling is, whatever.
Yeah.
You didn't know the environment. You don't know how it works. You don't know what a work is.
Yeah.
You know, but yeah, like you said, minutes after, you can see so many clips, 2-3 times. Dude keeps like, I'm sorry. I thought you were working.
And he literally says, aren't you going to sell it?
Yeah, aren't you going to sell it?
Because he's confused.
Yeah.
He's like, wait, come on, man. Like, we're on camera. Like, sell it.
And remember why they do this. For the kids. Like, for the kids. Yeah. Psychos dude thinks kids are watching, man.
Yeah.
Raj thinks like men like him, like manly men are talking to him. Do you know who's really behind those comments calling you a bitch? 12-year-old kids.
So this is the crazy thing, right? And this is, once again, this is the zero IQ people, right? They go, Psycho Stu deserved that because he was getting disrespected. I was like, hey, listen, you fucking smooth brain fucks. If you are watching the stream, who was Raj mad at? Was he mad at Psycho Stu or was he mad at you? He wasn't mad at Psycho Stu.
Right.
He was fucking ranting on his stream.
He was like, I ain't no bitch, because he kept reading the chat. Like, you're a pussy. You didn't do nothing. He
didn't do that to prove Psycho Stu wrong. He did it to prove you fucking wrong because you kept egging him on. Now, I'm not saying that relinquishes from his responsibility. Yeah. I'm not saying that at all. I'm just saying, if the argument is Psycho Stu deserved to get beat up because Raj was mad at him for what he did, Raj wasn't mad at Psycho Stu. He was mad at the chat because the chat kept been calling him a bitch, a pussy. You're not gonna do shit. He screamed. He goes, you don't think I'm gonna do shit? He goes, I'm a fuck. He goes, I don't give a fuck what we agreed upon, which means there was an agreement that he was going to get slammed and that was it. He says, I'm gonna fucking knock this guy out.
And that's what you call a receipt.
Yeah.
Right? When in wrestling, when somebody like really hits somebody else in the ring, they the person who got hit is obligated to give a receipt. You hit them back, like for real, and then you go back to your wrestling.
Exactly.
There's so many like really great clips in WWE where you can see like this dude accidentally kneed Brock Lesnar in the head, and Brock Lesnar got up and fucking rocked him in the side of the head, and the dude went down for a sec, and then Brock Lesnar goes, "Slow down." That's it. And so like that's the kind of shit you do, receipt, and that's why you see all the other wrestlers say, "Hey man, you're gonna get your get back," right? And like make sure you give it to him, right? Yeah, that's what a receipt is. Some people are trying to blame another wrestler for telling Raj to go for the receipt.
No, that's what it is.
That's what you do. That's you give it back.
Yeah.
And then it's
not murder, try to murder him. So if you guys watch this clip, right, if you're a little bit confused about what I'm talking about, Raj is at the side of the ring and he's screaming at the top of his lungs at the Chad. You think I'm a bitch? You don't think I'm gonna knock his ass out? I don't care if they tell me to stop. I'm gonna go off script is what he said.
Yeah.
He verbally admits that this is a premeditated attack. I am going 100%. To go off script.
First degree, planned.
He lifts him, slams him on his head, and he throws full blow punches. Mind you, he is a trained MMA fighter.
Like 24 blows.
It was 20 hits to his head. He shatters almost all of his teeth in his mouth, fractures his face, and the guy started choking on his blood.
And his teeth.
That
means his teeth was going down his throat. Like, that's fucked.
You want to hear something even crazier than this? This guy is a U.S. war veteran that suffers from PTSD. Wrestling is a thing that saved him.
Yeah.
So
now you took that away from him too.
Yeah.
Like you fucked him up physically worse than what happened to him in Iraq.
Crazy
work.
Crazy. He apologized profusely, saying it's a misunderstanding. I thought that you knew what was going on. I saw the camera. I'm so sorry. He squashed it. So if the argument that certain people are making, and this is the dumbest argument that I've read online, right? It's like, listen, you don't get to tell me how I get to retaliate, right? Listen to me, you fucking dumb fuck. That applies if there's a mutual understanding that there was disrespect involved. There was no disrespect. He was at a show.
Yeah.
At a performance that he wanted to participate in for views on fucking Kick. He knew what he was going into.
Yeah.
It is a performance. Do you know how stupid that fucking response is? It's like this. And like they're like, oh, he's a real MMA fighter. We don't do that fake shit. That's what Raj was saying. He goes, I don't do that type of fake shit. At a theater show? Dude, that's like going to watch Mulan.
Yeah.
The theater is like, I don't do that fake shit, dog. I fucking use real knives and swords.
You go to live Hamilton on Broadway. Like,
the fuck is this shit? Yeah. What the fuck are you talking about?
It's like, in this day and age, if you don't know what like wrestling is, WWE wrestling, like you don't know what that shit is. Like, look. Yeah. I mean, I'm speechless at this point because it just went so far. Then the dude, like, okay, here's another thing. That fake ass like referee standing there, like in shock, and then all the other wrestlers like letting him get in like 10 shots before somebody grabbed him. And then before everyone started to realize it got real.
It was so shocking. They didn't know what the fuck to do, right? Because everybody was like, why were y'all standing there? It's like, 'cause they were in shock and in disbelief.
Yeah.
I was in disbelief. Because if I processed when I saw it for the first time, I say the first 6, 7 shots, I didn't know what was going on.
Yeah.
And then by the time I realized it, as I'm observing it on a video, I was like, oh my God, he's trying to kill this guy.
Yeah, that was bad.
It fucking made my stomach turn.
I don't think we're supposed to see that.
Yeah.
And that's another thing. There were kids there with like mothers, parents. Like,
this kid, Raj, number one, and this is what I want to talk about. That's very like, because I've been in social media for so long, right? I'll tell you one thing. Fame is good for nobody, right? Fame is even worse for people who don't do anything to deserve it because they didn't go through a process of becoming famous, right? It's just kind of dumped onto them. Now, I'm not saying he's an A or A-list celebrity, right? But now his emotions, how he feels about himself, his actions are now dictated by what other people say and feel about him.
Yeah.
He does not have the emotional maturity for it.
Yeah.
He doesn't even have the intellectual maturity for it at all. And this is the result that you get. He's screaming into nothingness to a bunch of fucking teens.
Into nothingness. You're right. Like when they say like the internet's not as real as you think it is.
Yeah. He's like, you guys think I'm a bit. Raj, who the fuck cares?
God.
What are you talking about? Like, what are you fucking dumb? You know? And mind you, you're like, he's a kid. He's 25.
25.
You fucking dumbasses. You would think that he's fucking young because of how he speaks.
Yeah.
That's why
because that's what you say. He's emotionally stunted.
Yeah.
You would think he's a teenager.
Yeah. He's not.
Because of
25.
he can't handle like his emotions. And that's why people are going back talking about Rampage, his father. Like, look at the clips, look at the history, look at how you treat your son, man.
Yeah.
And compared to the way he treats his other kids,
Different.
his half Japanese kids,
Different.
that's fucked.
Yeah.
That's fucked. So I wouldn't be surprised through all of this if by a state ordered psychiatrist if they found out he's borderline.
Yeah.
You know?
100%.
Yeah.
He's definitely something. I feel for him, right? I know there's like the other half of the internet that's just like, fuck him or whatever. I get it. And I think that it's justified to feel that way.
Yeah.
But the other part of me feels bad for this kid. Not to absolve him for what he did. That is, personal responsibility goes a very long way. And once again, I'm going to bring this back up. For other people who say you don't get to control what the outcome is, but you get to control yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Personal responsibility is still there. Your idea of thinking like, okay, well, he was disrespected, so you can't control what somebody else does. Okay, criminal.
All right, gangster.
Yeah, it doesn't make it okay. Do you understand? What are you fucking psychotic?
Felon?
Yeah, you fucking scumbag.
Yeah, you deserve to be in a fucking compound, like in a prison.
You're a fucking psychopath.
Yeah.
By the way, I do, in a sense, agree with you. Yeah, you don't get to control what the outcome is, right? It doesn't justify it. But also, too, to say that as a reason for you to feel morally okay with it is fucking insanity.
Yeah,
It's like, once again, it's a theatrical performance. Number 2, it's a mistake. Number 3, nobody was hurt. Number 4, the beef was squashed. Number 5, they spoke about it.
They not only just squashed, it was like constant. The dude felt so bad, he came back, shook his hand 3 times.
3 times!
Like, to make sure we're cool, right, man? Like, I feel horrible. Like,
Hey, Raj, also, too, if you were so concerned about the rest of the world, a bunch of 8-year-olds thinking that you're a pussy and a bitch, what do you think it did for you now? A grown-ass man apologized, looked you in the eye, shook your fucking hand. You accepted the apology, right? You had his guard down. You sucker punched him 20. That's a sucker punch because you shook his hand and said, everything is okay.
yeah.
You look even more like a bitch now. Because you let children on the internet dictate you, and you're an adult. You're a 25-year-old adult.
Yeah.
That made you look 10 times worse. This is why I'm saying I don't think that he's exactly like intellectually that developed.
Yeah.
Right? It's kind of insane how a grown-ass man got manipulated by people online when he's supposed to be the adult. It blew my fucking mind. And when I saw him rambling to himself as he was walking.
Oh, yeah, dude. And I forget if, like, soon after another wrestler at the event called him, like, dude, I told you to give him a receipt.
A receipt.
You, like,
You try to kill
him.
Yeah.
And then he goes, my bad. He says, that dude flatlined. And then you could hear him, like, he goes, my bad. I'll call you later. It's like, it started to, like, what do you call it? He started to realize the crazy shit he
said,
did.
this is what I'm saying. He is somebody that cannot be on the internet.
Mm.
He gets affected too much. He's very easy to manipulate. Like it's like, have you seen, I mean, I hate to make this kind of like connection to it, but you see like these Netflix documentaries about these people who are like serial killers, right? And you see how they're just manipulated by anything and everything around them that causes them to do horrendous things. It reminds me of that. And I'm not saying he's a serial killer, but I'm just saying like intellectually, he's not developed enough to be able to understand his emotions and also reality.
Right.
And so
I don't know if he's not developed enough or was never given the skills.
yeah.
Because by
Or something
25,
along those lines. Yeah, you're right.
Like I couldn't tell like the level of his intelligence, but emotional stuntedness.
Doesn't he feel like a 12-year-old?
Yeah, like a little kid.
Yeah.
I thought I'd like just looking at this video, it's like just like a little kid who's just like so mad he lost in 2K to his older brother kind of shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. And like in that
Rage
moment,
quitting. It was like rage quitting.
Yeah, he could have like those moments when he didn't know what to do but throw a controller. And now as a grown ass man, he threw his hands, you know?
And then, you know, when he was going on stream, like I mentioned before, he was like, oh, I was cussed, I was throwing up. It sounded so scripted.
Mhm.
I feel like that's kind of what his dad told him to say.
Yeah.
And so he's doing that. And then I also watched like a clip of him, like Rampage kind of consoling his son. It felt so cold, right?
Mm.
And I think it's because they don't have that relationship. It's just Rampage. These are assumptions once again, right? Rampage grew up in a different time. He grew up in Memphis, right? How he grew up and how he dealt with stuff around his world is how Rampage dealt with it.
Yeah.
His son is not that.
It's not that
And
at all.
I feel like he's very heavy-handed in trying to raise a traditional man in the worst way possible.
in this century,
Yeah.
the way he was raised, nah.
No, like don't be a bitch. Take it on the chin. Don't be a bitch. All this type of talk to you. And I say this type of stuff too, right? Like don't be a bitch, but not in this type of context, right? Children need love from their parents and their fathers. 100%. They need that shit. They fucking thirst for it.
Yeah.
Right. And I look at that kid, I feel so bad
He
for him.
just wants Rampage's approval.
Yeah. Yes. That's 100%
But
what it is.
I think he needs to understand that that's not the person you ought to be, even though it's a father and all that, right? I mean, we're all tied to that approval for our father. But even for me, you know, I mean, it took a lot for me to be like, yo, my dad is not a good person, you know? And maybe that's why we're saying he's so emotionally stunted, because at 25, he's still attached to his father, who's clearly emotionally abusing him.
Yeah, and then, you know, Rampage also on a podcast said that, look, you know, for my other two kids, you know, the Japanese half black ones, he goes like, I saved up money for the college tuition. The other two, I saved up for their jail time because I knew he predetermined how they were going to end up.
Yeah.
Right?
Genius Brain listeners, this podcast is brought to you by BetterHelp. BetterHelp, BetterHelp. It's all about that mental wealth. Anyways, these days it feels like there's advice for everything. Cold plunges, gratitude journals, screen detoxes, but how do you know what actually works for you? With the internet and information overload about mental health and wellness, man, it can be a struggle to know what's true and what actions to take these days. Using trusted resources and talking to live therapists, you can get personalized recommendations and help you break through the noise. With over 30,000 therapists, BetterHelp is the world's largest online therapy platform, having served over 5 million people globally, and it works with an App Store rating of 4.9 out of 5 based on over 1.7 million client views. It's convenient too. You can join a session with a therapist at the click of a button, helping you fit into therapy into your busy life, plus switch therapists at any time. As the largest online therapy provider in the world, BetterHelp can provide access to mental health professionals with a diverse variety of expertise. Talk it out with BetterHelp. Our listeners get 10% off their first month at betterhelp.com/genius. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/genius.
And that does a number on a kid's psyche.
Yeah.
It's like, this is your capability. Your capability is here, so this is all I'm going to care about. Kids take that stuff in and they materialize it in their own lives. You kind of manifested that into your child, right? Yeah. And when I look at Raj and I see how he talks to his dad, he doesn't look like a bad kid to me or a bad adult, right?
Yeah.
It just seems that he's living in his father's shadow. Even him going into MMA, like I've seen his clips of him training and sparring. It doesn't even seem that this is like his path that he really wants. I feel like it's the path that he feels like he has to fulfill for his father's love.
His nickname, Rampage Jr.
Yeah.
Well, you put yourself now in that shadow. Like LeBron, years after, I remember this might have still been in 2000s. He goes, I regret naming my kid LeBron James Jr.
Yeah.
Because, you know, he wants to do all his own things, and then all of a sudden he wants to detach from my name.
Yeah.
That's why we call him Bronny.
Yeah.
Kind of thing. And that makes sense. Yeah, it's a lot.
You know, if I could put it in perspective too, just especially on a parenting part, right? It's like, you know, when I guess once again, I have to say this multiple times on this podcast. I'm only assuming from the things that I've seen, but when I look at what Rampage Jackson is doing with this kid. Like I said, I think he's heavy-handed in raising a kid or a man in the way that he was raised in order to toughen himself up. But it's a different time, different generation. And also, too, you have to look at your kids as individuals and raise them accordingly to who they are.
Yeah.
Right? Eventually, as they get older. And I learned this early on with my relationship with my brother, right? My brother, when he was going through a tough time and he was trying to figure out who he was living with me and I was helping him out. I would speak to my brother in the way that I wanted to be spoken to when I needed motivation. And you've been around this version of myself too. I tend to be very harsh, right? And that's because how I like it.
Because that's how you run, right?
It motivates me.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, stop being a bitch. Don't be a pussy. Fucking pick yourself up, blah, 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 blah. I spoke to my brother that way.
Yeah.
That shit was killing him.
Yeah.
I didn't fucking know. I thought I was doing a good job.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And so I was speaking to my mom. I was like, yeah, dude, I just tell him to stop being fucking crying. Stop whining, dude. Stop moping the fuck around. Get the fuck out of the house. Mom was like, you can't talk to him like that. I was like, why? She goes, I talk to you like that because that's just how you and I don't talk to your brother.
It works.
It works, you know? And so he was like, you cannot speak to your brother
like
that way.
For him, yeah.
I didn't realize that. And so how I was trying to help him out was the way that I wanted to be helped out. But I didn't look at him as an individual and see what he needed as a person. So after that, I switched it up. I was a lot kinder to him. And it was weird for me because I'm like, is this really going to help him?
Yeah.
It's like, hey, man, do you need help? Like, let me, whatever you need, I got you. You know, I speaking like that. And I'm like, this ain't going to help him.
Yeah.
But it did.
It does, right?
It does. Because he's not me, right? He didn't grow up, even though we grew up in the same household, we didn't grow up the same.
Yeah.
So how I take adversity and how I take hardships, I look at it from a lens of, oh, you think I can't do this? Let me prove you wrong.
Yeah.
Not everybody's built like that. I don't think a majority of people are. I was very spiteful in that type of way. And it motivated me to do things and to reach heights that I never thought I could because I always had this chip on my shoulder. Right. My brother's not like that. He needed like encouragement. He needed people to tell him that he's valuable, that he's worthy, and to help lift him up, right? And I think that's what Raj is. Raj is not that kid that needs a father to tell him that he's a piece of shit. You ain't gonna do shit. I'll beat your fucking ass, all this other stuff, right? You're not gonna amount to all that other talk. It's not gonna make Raj be like, hey, I'm gonna show you what's up.
So if I had to guess, sounds like, did Raj grow up in his mother's home while Rampage was out in Japan and fighting everywhere?
That I don't know. I don't think Rampage has ever spoken on the details of that.
Right.
But he has to play dad for multiple kids.
Because for me, it feels like, in a sense, where, you know, perhaps after Raj is 18 or whatever, and out of the house, he's like, his dad's got money. His dad has connection. His dad could help him. Like, and, you know, obviously that's where you're going to take your career. And I think trying to get into that while it was successful in a way, in a monetary sense, it was like, I think it was just something that was eating him inside and just killing him.
And how much you want to bet too that when that kid sees how his relationship is with his other kids, it kills him a little bit. I know it does. I've seen that in so many of my friends where they hold
favoritism over another kid. You're like, bro, that baby also came out of you.
Yeah. I see it so much. Like I saw it in friends growing up. Like they hated their step siblings. It's like, how come you treat them so nicely and you treat me like shit? And it comes out, right? And parents are also humans too. They do have favorites, right? Just like kids have favorite parents. And I guarantee you when that kid sees how he treats his other kids and he doesn't get that same type of treatment, it eats him up a little bit inside.
Look at Rampage's last Instagram post. It's him and his daughter IKEA shopping for her college. And it's like the sweetest things he's ever done. And in the middle of that, in the midst of that, his other son is doing this, you know?
Yeah.
It's just clear as day. It's like
I think there's a clip that went around too of his other son. He has a half Japanese, half black son.
And he talked about how much he loves him.
How much like bought him a new car. And he goes, man, that looks really good on you. Why can't you talk to Raj that way? Why can't you talk to Raj that way?
It's so different. It's crazy how like you tell the world that too.
Yeah.
You told the world.
And I feel like for once again, it just reminds me of your relationship with your dad. He calls him Rampage Jr. He sees himself in his son, and he tries to raise him in the way of how he was treated.
To not be a bitch.
Yeah, but how you were treated wasn't right.
You're also still bigger than him.
Yeah, huge.
Raj, as a grown-ass man, is still smaller than his big-ass father, Rampage.
Yeah.
So it's like, he is always going to live under that shadow. Even if Raj was 40
And
right?
also, too, it's like for Rampage, man, why do you keep telling your son, like, you'll never beat my ass? Like, I'll always beat. Why do you do that to your kid? Why? Why do you do that?
You're not supposed to beat your kids, or I mean, like as grown men, like fight your father and shit, you know?
You're not. What is this? Why do you always have to prove to your kid that you're better than him, that you're stronger than him? What does that do for you? It's like, I just joke around like that. Fuck that joke, man. That joke will damage your son forever. And look what happens.
And it has.
It has.
He is damaged.
And look, like I said, man, I never want to speak on somebody else's parenting because I don't know what goes on in their household, right? But once again, I think for Rampage, he's put it out there. He's done it. I didn't dig for any of this type of stuff, right? I'm still a huge fan of him, right? I think it's amazing, but I look at the result of kind of what happened to this kid, and I can't help but feel bad for him, right?
Yeah.
Like I said, I'm not saying that he shouldn't pay for what he did. He should. He did something absolutely horrendous. Whatever anybody's opinion is about, you don't get to control the outcome. Cool. That's right. But you have to stick to that point that you're making too. Okay, you don't get to control the outcome too. Do you also not believe in personal responsibility? So every time somebody does something to you, you have to be like, well, I didn't get to control the outcome. Yeah. Somebody robs you, I didn't get to control the outcome, right? You do something else, I don't get to control. You have to apply it in every part of your life. Because the problem of saying that statement too is that you also don't believe in personal responsibility. Personal responsibility is a huge thing, right? Just because somebody did something to you doesn't mean you get to retaliate the way that you want to, because you still have to pay for those things that you do. So in his case too, it's like this kid fucked himself out of his whole career. If he wanted to be a UFC fighter, he'll never get into the UFC.
Yeah, he couldn't just see past 5 moments. Not 5 moments, 5 minutes past this anger, you know? I mean, instead, he held on.
Time. He had an hour.
Yeah.
To just chill the fuck out. But guess what he did? He was streaming, looking at the chat, eating him up.
Well, not even looking at the wrestling.
Yeah.
Like, there's a whole show in front of him and he's on his phone.
Screaming at people. You think I'm a bitch? Oh, you don't think I'm gonna do it? You a bitch. You will never say this to my face. Who are you talking to?
We're watching the guy just have a mental breakdown right in front of us.
I don't give a fuck what people, I'm gonna go off script. He openly admitted that he was going to assault him.
Yeah.
He's fucked. If he wants to press charges, he's fucked. He's gonna go to jail. He has ruined his whole life over what? A chat. And this is what I'm talking about now too, just with how fucking shitty the internet is. And if you keep mentioning that the internet, well, you grew up, no, my internet was different from your internet. I do not like in real life streaming for fame. If people who are already famous start streaming, it's a completely different thing because they already have a built-in fan base that they get to connect to. When you're on streaming now, you have to do the craziest things just to get attention, just to get your career started. Look at somebody like the other guy, I Show Speed.
Yeah.
Right? I think he's a great entertainer or whatever. He is the most obnoxious human being.
Yeah, like considering the fame he has now, right? And like, oh my God, kids love him. China loves him, right? It's like, how did he get famous? Oh, this crazy ass clip, this insane clip, this crash out, this sexist moment, this fucking
Jesus Christ,
insane felony. Like,
right?
Yeah, so it's like, kids, like, do we think this is okay? So now kids are like, okay, it's like in the 2000s, a lot of girls started making fucking sex tapes.
Yeah.
Because they thought, oh, this is how I get famous.
Yeah.
Lawrence Fishburne's daughter?
Yeah.
Did it because she thought that's how you become famous. Like, Huh?
This is what I'm saying, man. Like I said, and I've said this multiple times before, right? The internet is not for everybody, right? It's for everyone, but it's not for everyone. And what I mean by that is that anything can be used as a tool or as a weapon. If you're using the internet as a form of entertainment just for things for you to watch, but if you let it dictate your life, you're fucked.
Yeah.
Especially at a very young age. And I'm gonna say this to parents. Follow somebody named Jonathan Haidt. He has been working and studying the effects of media, not just social media since television, right? Till now, of what social media has done. He is like one of the leading people in this. And his biggest thing right now is to get cell phones removed from schools.
Yeah.
Right? So when you come into school, you put it into a pouch and it's happened.
Yeah, I saw a clip. They got the Dave Chappelle pouches.
Yeah.
Like schools now, they take that technology where they make kids put their phone in a pouch, go through school. Great. Yeah. I don't think you're gonna like lose anything by not having your phone for 6 hours. You know?
You have to just talk to people again, right? And so what people are finding out too is that all this stuff that they do when they get rid of the phones, it's all positive. There's literally no negative recourse for it. It's all positive.
And this was also a thing in the 90s.
Yeah, you couldn't use your cell phones.
You couldn't. There was no cell phone. So remember, the joke was people turned off the TV and stepped outside.
Yeah.
People turned off the TV and opened a book. That was the end of the cable guy.
Yeah.
Because they lost the cable and people started to do other shit. Yeah. That's the point. Like we're humans to a flame, like a moth to a flame. When we've evolved around the campfire.
Yeah.
Right. And those photons have been manipulated into this now. We can now project that kind of light to keep us mesmerized in that. And I think we need to be able to understand, like, they didn't stand by the fire all day and stare into the fire all fucking day.
Yeah.
They had to eat. They had to, hunt. They had to gather. They had to do these things. And as humans, we're not meant to just look at the fire, look at, this all the time. Like, I'm guilty of it. Doom scrolling's my thing, you know?
So same here.
Yeah.
This is what I'm saying too. It's like, it is not an argument anymore. It is just proven fact of like the detrimental effects of what social media has done to a younger generation, right? It has fucked up with their personal values. It has fucked up with their outlook on life. It has fucked up their ability to communicate with people.
Yeah.
Kids can't fucking spell shit anymore.
Oh my God. So I was just in Washington, right? And I was driving by Old Town I grew up in, and then by the school district building. And then there's a giant poster, big ass poster of their accomplishment that year. It says 2023, only 20% of kids could read. And then it says 2025, 44%. Like, hooray. Like,
fucking crazy.
Dog, for real? That's still more than half your kids can't read.
And can I just say this too, man? It's like, in my kid's life, my kid has never seen a TV yet, right?
My sister and brother-in-law did the same thing.
Yeah.
They make sure the TV isn't around with the baby.
I don't control what happens outside of my home. I can control what happens inside of my home, right? And because I have now seen so many different variations of people around me who have raised their kids, people who did screen time and off-screen time, there is a vast difference from the off-screen kids and the screen kids. Holy shit. Yeah, it's insane.
I just saw a video of this little girl at Chuck E. Cheese, right? And now Chuck E. Cheese, remember they used to have those big robotics, and then they just like, they sing a song, but then they got rid of that and just have a big TV screen now, right? But they still have Chuck E. Cheese come out as a mascot. This girl, it's her like first time at Chuck E. Cheese. She can't stop watching the big screen as Chucky, the mascot, walks out to her. And all the kids are running to Chucky, but she's looking at it through the screen.
Yeah.
And she won't look at the real life Chucky.
That's fucking insane.
That's insane.
That is insane. That's the craziest shit I've ever heard in my life.
Yeah.
Right? And it's like, I talked to, this is a while back. This is when Mariel was pregnant. And one of my buddy was like, well, why aren't you going to do screen time? It's like, it's something that you can't avoid. I was like, 100%, right? But let me just give you an analogy, right? It's like, okay, well, my kid eventually will be around guns, right? Should I give it to him as a 5-year-old?
Some people believe that.
Yeah.
Some people
or like a 3-year-old or a 2-year-old.
Yeah.
Like, would I give him a fucking gun? Should I give him the keys to my fucking car? He's going to drive eventually, right? What the fuck are you talking about? And I'm like, listen, dude. And, this is a guy buddy of mine, too. And we shit on each other all the time. So I'm just like, listen, dude. I don't give a fuck how you raise your kids, right? But I'm giving you the reasons why I wouldn't, right? And for you, it's like, well, he goes, my kid, well, he's like, well, I feel like, kids learn a lot of stuff from educational stuff. Like they learn like their colors and stuff. I was like, who else could do that? I was like, aren't you a dad? You.
Look at the color of my shirt.
Yeah.
Yeah, what color are my
pants? He started busted up laughing. He was like, yeah, you're right, my bad. I was like, yeah, dog. It's like, he goes, yeah, no, it's just, I'm busy. It's like, yeah, that's more realistic. It's like, don't act like you can't teach your kid how to do this. It's just, you're a busy fucking guy, so it's hard for you. And there's moments that you want to rest. And so you kind of leave the TV to raise your kid. Like, that's all that it is, right?
Yeah.
However you do it is how you do it. I'm just telling you how I'm doing it, right? But don't bullshit me and saying like there's no other way to do it. Like, what the fuck are you talking about, man?
He's like, are you just telling me you gave up?
Yeah. I was like, you're tired.
Yeah.
Right? And it gives you a moment for you to relax. That's all that fucking is, right? And by the way, too, I like people who do hybrid stuff. There's friends of mine who do screen time, but they play with their kids a lot too. They go outside. I think that's great too. I don't give a shit.
It's not like we didn't grow up without a screen either. We looked at the boob tube.
Yeah.
That's what they used to call it.
Yeah, we had those fucking moments, and we definitely watched TV a lot too. It's just, if you look at, just do me a favor and just read up about Jonathan Haidt. Follow him on Instagram. Look at his podcast that he's done, and where he explains it in depth, the difference between media now and then, and how insanely addictive it is, how it's been programmed to be addictive.
Right.
It's very meticulous, and it's planned that way, right? And if you see how social media affects adults, i.e. Raj, imagine what it does to kids. How it affects their value. There are kids and girls doing full-on skin facial routines at the age of 8. What the fuck do you need to do a skin facial routine? It's based on like selling commodities. You know what I mean?
Right.
There is no positive thing for a kid to watch all these channels. There's nothing that they gain from it at all. The only thing that happens is that you get a break as a parent, right? Which is also very important. But what you do after that is also important as well. And I think that's just the only point that I'm going to put out there. Don't tell me that, oh, your kid right now, oh, he's eventually going to see a screen, so give it to him now. That's bullshit. Like I said, my kid's going to learn how to drive eventually too. I'm not going to give him my car keys.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There's a time and a place for everything. And because I've seen what social media has done to fucking grown-ass adults who have full-on autonomy of their body and their life and the things that they choose to do and say, they can't handle social media. A fucking 8-month-old, 7-month-old, fucking 1-year-old, 2-year-old will be 10 times more destroyed by that if an adult can't even handle it.
Yeah.
I don't even want to argue with people on that. I've already seen it so many times in my life.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But specifically what I've seen with a lot of my friends' kids, the ones that aren't raised by screens, they're so much more calm. Holy shit. Their attention span is so much more longer.
Yeah.
How they play with toys, how they interact with adults and humans. They ask questions. They're inquisitive. They're not screaming, running their fucking heads off. It's like, oh shit, I see this in my real life. So I want to at least give my kid the ability. I don't want to handicap my kid, right? I want to give them that ability first to be able to regulate their emotions, regulate what they're seeing and what they're absorbing first. And later on, what happens in the outside world, I cannot control that, but I can control what happens in my house.
Yeah. Yeah. That's good. Dude, you know what I just realized? My pastor, remember I always mentioned my Samoan pastor?
Yeah.
He's actually related to all the WWE Samoan wrestlers.
Oh, for reals?
His son he was there.
Oh, for reals?
That's why I was looking at my phone. I was like, wait a second. And I looked it up real quick. He was there, dude. After this, I'll try to contact him. Maybe we can see what was up. Yeah.
I want to know what the fuck everybody was thinking. Dude, he's in stable condition, but he's in critical condition. Like he's stable now, but he's in critical condition. Right. And he said, I want to thank everybody for for wishing me well.
Oh, so he's had a message out. Right?
Yeah, he put a message out.
By the way, did they arrest Raja?
I don't know.
I thought I heard Sunday night they arrested him. And
Good.
Then I'm like reading other reports like, why hasn't LAPD arrested him yet?
They need to arrest him.
Yeah.
Right? Because he cannot walk away from this. It was a premeditated assault.
Yeah.
Right? Down borderline attempted murder.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
If he doesn't get anything from this, it says more about our society than anything else. Right? As Rampage, as a dad, I don't know how he feels about it. Right? And I know for him, he was like, if my son, I'm going to protect my kid. And I was asked this question too, is like, if your son did something like that, what would you do? I was like, my son has to go to jail.
Yeah.
He is not exempt from the law.
Yeah.
He is not exempt from being personally responsible for the stuff that he does. Also too, if my son did something like that, I'm also personally responsible to a certain extent of raising my kid like that. I have to take a little bit of that as well.
It's almost, you look at this, like how much different is this from a school shooting type of incident? Yeah.
Yeah. It really did remind me of that. Right? And I just like, God damn, I just see this kid and I feel like, fuck, I wish somebody would just be there for him.
Yeah.
Right? If somebody could have just been there for him as a young person, gave him value and worth, where to the point where random people in a chat doesn't affect his personal value as a human being, it would have been such a different fucking outcome.
Yeah.
And I've seen, dude, being around some people that I grew up now, man, like, I'm not going to give out names, but there's somebody that I grew up with who honestly affected me as an adult now, my sense of humor. This guy's amazing. Handsome, good-looking fucking guy. Fit as shit. Tall as fuck. Funny as hell. Charismatic. Had the worst upbringing. Dad abandoned him. I can't remember the details now. It's been so long. But either he went to jail for drugs or something like that, murder or whatever the hell that was. Either way, dad wasn't a part of his life. His mom, who was a part of his life, don't know what was going on in her life at the time, but she got stabbed to death at a park.
What?
He lost both of his parents. Damn. His grandma had to raise him, right? This dude, cool ass dude. Yeah. I still keep in contact with him till this day. He fell into drugs, did all this other type of shit. I think he like lost his teeth at a certain point. He got it fixed now, but he's like picking up the pieces.
Yeah.
And I look at somebody like that, it's like, fuck. If his upbringing was just a little different, his whole life trajectory would have been insane.
Yeah.
I believe that this guy, personally, way more talented than I am. I think he's very intelligent, very smart. It's just his fucked up situation led him to the life that he has right now.
Or he doesn't even believe he's as smart as someone, or he doesn't believe he's as funny as other people, or maybe he doesn't believe he's as good looking.
Yeah.
You know?
I just look at him, I'm like, fuck, it's just so fucking unfair. And I look at that for this kid Raj too, right? If he was just maybe cared for with a little bit of love, positivity, and grew up in the right environment, how different his outlook on life could have been.
Yeah.
Not living in his father's shadow, not trying to be something that he's not trying to prove to people that he's this tough guy. You don't have to prove shit to anybody.
Yeah.
It does not matter what somebody fucking thinks, right? And I used to kind of be in that mind state as well, right? When I was younger. Somebody called me a bitch.
The way we grew up, dude, you had to fucking do something about it. Or your friends, just like the chat, will call you a bitch.
Yeah, it's stupid. Like,
it's dumb.
Even like a few weeks ago, or no, a couple of days ago, I posted this like clip of me hitting a bag, right? It's like, and then people are like, oh, you actually do have hands. It's like, I already told you I did, right? But I don't have to prove to you that I could fucking fight, right? I don't have to. I don't have to be like, oh, well, show up. I could beat your. I don't have to do any of that shit. I don't give a shit whether you think I have hands, I could fight, kickbox, or whatever the fuck that it is, right? You don't have to believe in my stories or whatever. I literally don't care, right?
Yeah.
And then, when you started coming on the pod and we were talking about the same stories I've talked about, oh, the stories are true. It's like, what the fuck? You know what I mean? I don't fucking care whether you believe it or not, right?
Yeah.
And I could have people on here corroborate the stories. I could have footage of it. I could do all this other stuff. And then people's tunes change. But once again, it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. It's just fucking wind in the air.
It doesn't
in a digital space.
Yeah.
So it's not fucking real too either.
Yeah, it doesn't fucking matter, man.
Yeah.
Either way, man, I'm curious to see what everybody else thought about that situation. Hopefully, I hope people can learn something from this.
Yeah.
I really do. I hope you guys can learn that, number one, how dangerous the internet space is. Number two, how much the internet space doesn't fucking matter in your real life.
Yeah.
And number three, if you are going to do entertainment, think about what your value is. Like, who are you as a person?
To separate that real life and fucking entertainment, right? Yeah, and it's clear as day as an analogy too. If he couldn't look at this fake, I hate to call it fake wrestling, but he couldn't see that as the show either, then it's,
he's lost.
He's lost.
He's absolutely lost, man.
Yeah.
There's so many things that you guys can take away from this, right? If you guys enjoy, I'm not saying that you can't watch people stream. Like, that's fine. You know what I mean? It's just, how do you separate your life from that?
But if you're those types that eagerly wants to see someone streaming crash out, then you're a piece of shit too.
Yeah, it's just like, I don't know. There's so many things that you guys can take away from this. I'm curious to see what you all took away from this too as well. And I'm pretty sure I'm gonna read some stupid fucking comments.
Yeah. I mean, even like Rob Van Dam was standing up for Raja, and everyone's like, bro, what the fuck? You're a pro wrestler.
Rob Van Dam just wants people to watch his podcast. That's all that it is.
You got CTE going on.
Yeah, get the fuck out of here, you fucking tard. Anyways, Genius Brain every Sundays at 12 p.m. Psycho Stu, I really hope you get better from this, dude.
We're hoping you pull through. Even
please.
We just heard about you, but shit, for the sake of your life, and
Raj,
everything you've been through.
I really hope you get to reevaluate what you did and your life. I hope there's somebody in your life that can show you like compassion, love, and care, and kind of guide you in a way where you have to realize that you don't have to prove anything to anybody. You just have to find your purpose and be happy in the things that you do. You are not your father. You don't live in his shadow. You are an individual that has to be personally responsible for the stuff that you have done and the things that you are going to do from here on out. That's all that I'm saying.
Yeah.
Anyways, Genius Brain every Sunday at 12 p.m. We'll see you all next time. Peace.
Peace.